larger than life. He'll give you strife. He's Todd. He's tall, he's mean, he's a labeling machine. He's Todd. Rides a motorbike, he'll tell you what it's like. He's Todd. Don't know what he'll say, he'll scare the kids away. He's Todd. He's Todd.
Oh, good morning. Happy Thursday. Appreciate you showing up. Obviously, the theme of the show. I'm wearing the hat because I didn't shave my head. Looks like hell. I'm wearing the glasses because of last night. But no, that's not true. Anyway, thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Got a good show for you today, I think. And we're going to actually incorporate this, all right, this live stuff with some pre-recorded stuff I did here on the other side of my studio. And so I hope it's pretty seamless. We'll see what happens. So the reason why I'm doing this show is because, I sit here and I BS all the time about how tough our labels are. And today I'm going to back up my BS, more or less. This guy right here. So from a legal standpoint, this has been in here about 6 months. Now, I'm not saying that these labels are going to last inside water in any other condition for 6 months, but I'm kind of bummed. I actually dropped this on the ground last night. And so there's a crack in there somewhere, but it's been in here a long time. And we're actually going to have an episode relating to this on January 7th. So put that on your calendars, and I'll remind you at the end of the show as well. But anyway, I go through, all this stuff about where water resistant, heat resistant, oil resistant, gas resistant, caustic resistant, UV rated, fade resistant, scratch, blah, 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 blah. Today we're going to prove it. And so what I did is, I had my son help me out on the camera. We shot it from a couple of different angles. It turned out really well. So you guys are going to be the judge ultimately on that. Real quick, I got a message from Mr. Bruce Page, who's my friend and counterpart out on the East Coast somewhere. I guess that, he's on the East Coast somewhere. So he's actually going under the knife today for an elective surgery procedure. He was too embarrassed to tell me what it was. All right. But can we have a moment of silence for Mr. Page? Okay, there we're done. Back to the show. So anyway, hey, Bruce, heal up soon, so you can get back behind your desk, if you will. So anyway, that being said, the holidays. It's the holidays. And can you say Christmas anymore? All right. So anyway, the holidays. I'll just keep it with the holidays. All right. Here at the Morse household, we're going to forego Christmas. We got a bunch of stuff going on, and we're empty nesters and stuff like that. But I figure, you know what, we're going to celebrate twice as hard next year. A little more oomph, zeal. Can you say that stuff? Anyway, so I was going to kind of do a little Christmas theme and stuff like that, but I'm not going to. So anyway, we're going to go from this point. I'll cue Kate. She'll get on, she'll put the pre-recorded video on there. It's about 11 minutes. Stay till the end. I'm telling you, stay till the end. Oh man, I love that sound. But this is the bad boy that we use in the end on this thing. And I go through a series of, watch the video. Kate, if you would, could you cue that thing off, cut me, and we'll see where this thing goes.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the couple of minutes of my BS prior to this. This is the first time that we're going to try incorporating my live BS with something pre-recorded. So I've got my son actually on camera helping me out. Say hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Good boy. What a good boy. So what we're going to show you today is the resiliency of the tape, how tough the tape is. And we're going to run through a series of tests. And one of the things that I did is I actually went out and I got this piece of metal, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to show you some different examples of some of the abrasion resistant tests that I'm going to do. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try it on this one. This is actually the label that came from the store that we bought it from. And look at this, barcoding, asset management. Man, how many times throughout the series of BS with Todd I've talked about barcoding and asset management. But I pretty much guarantee you I'm going to destroy this label with what we're going to do to the other ones here. So again, thanks for joining BS with Todd. We're going to run through a series of tests today, and all of our tape is laminated. And what that means is scratch resistant, scuff resistant, oil resistant, gas resistant, caustic resistant, UV rated, fade resistant, water resistant, you name it, it is a tough label. And so to back up my BS, we're going to run through these series of tests. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the old scrub buddy here, all right? And supposedly this thing is really abrasive, all right? And but we'll see how abrasive this is. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some steel wool, all right? As you can see, you know, it just came out of a bag of steel wool here. Then we're going to go one step further, all right? And we're going to use some coarse grain sandpaper. And then to top it off, we're going to go big time. We're going power, all right? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sand some of these labels, and we're going to see how they stand up. Now, the whole idea behind what we're shooting here is to show you basically, like I said before, how tough of a label we are. So no matter whether you're inside, outside, I mean, outside plant is a big thing. Scratching, scuffing is a big thing. Heat resistant is a big thing. And so we'll have another series, another take on this as far as our water resistant, chemical resistant, any type of liquid resistant. But today, I think this primarily centers around, you know, when you're pulling cable through a ceiling, right? When the cables are rubbing up against each other, and you got some rough end labels on there, we want to show that that's not going to cause any detriment to the label itself, all right? Outside plant, you know, the scratching, the scuffing, so forth and whatnot, dirt, grime. Again, we're going to show you in a few minutes here how tough of a label we are. And so with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a series of tests right now. All right, and as I said, I'm gonna start with my scrub buddy here. Isn't this cute? All right, so I'm gonna start with the scrub buddy here and see what happens to this. And then we're gonna go, actually, you know what, I gotta admit, I was gonna use one of my loofahs that I use all the time. It's great for exfoliation, right? I don't think it's quite tough enough for a label like this, so we're gonna go one step beyond that. And so let's get this test started, all right? So, hey, if you would, Justin, come on in on this. Oh, wait, hold on, all right? Safety first, always safety first, all right? I got this just in case sparks start to fly, all right? But first and foremost, safety first. So let's go ahead and throw these on. And, oh my. Hey, all right? Now I'm ready to go. So let's start with the scrub buddy, all right? I'm actually gonna save this one for a little bit later. Actually, you know what? Forget it. Let's go ahead and let's start with the scrub buddy on this one. Not too bad. All right, it's holding up pretty well. Boy, that looks pretty good. That's not bad, all right? Let's go ahead to the rub me. Let's start off with a little bit of rub me on here. All right. Let's go down to the little scuff me on here. Let's go to the scrape me. All right. Well, as you can see, my little scrub buddy's not doing a damn thing. All right. So let's move up to the steel wool. All right. So steel wool. All right. Let's go ahead and let's start with the store-bought tape. And let's go ahead and just start with this. And we're going to scrub. Uh-oh. Do you see what I'm seeing? Oh, my. Now, you can see around the label where I'm scraping this thing. But look here. There's nothing left. In fact, you know what? Let's just get rid of this. Let's go ahead and clean this label off. What a clean looking label that is. Oh my. All right. Let's start up here with the Rub Me. All right. Same steel wool. Let's go. Let's rub it. Let's rub it. Let's rub it. Let's go down to the Scuff Me. Let's scuff that. In the meantime, look around where I'm doing this, and you can see where I'm actually scouring the surface of this steel. How about some scrape me? Let's go down. Let's just scrape me. Nothing. Que nada. All right. So there's the steel wool. All right, we're done with that. Now, let's go with some sandpaper. As you can see, it's some heavy grit sandpaper. Let's go ahead and start with our store-bought label. See what happens here. Let's scratch it. Let's scuff it. Let's do this. Oh my. Now look at around here where I'm scratching all the steel. In fact, you can hear that. All right. So let's take the same sandpaper and you look at the sandpaper. All right. So let's go up here to Rub Me. And let's do a little rub-a-dub-a-dub-a-dub-a-dub-a-dub. There's nothing there, folks. All right, let's rub a little more. Look where my finger is. You can see I'm scratching the steel. You can see we're going to Scuff Me. Now we're going to go to Scrape Me. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Doesn't look like this label, all right? Look at the resiliency. Feel the smoothness. It's absolutely incredible, all right? So now we've gone from a heavy-duty grit sandpaper, all right? We're gonna give it the ultimate test, all right? I just wanna, let's do this. You can see we're scratching the steel. But you know what? It's not scratching my label. Time for the ultimate test, folks. All right, so again, keep in mind is that every label that we have, except for the heat shrink and our super narrow, is laminated. All right, scratch resistant, scuff resistant, oil resistant, gas resistant, caustic resistant, UV resistant, fade resistant. Man, this is a tough label. Ultimate test now, folks. All right, we're gonna add a little power to this. So let's get this out of the way. Let's step it up a notch. We're gonna go with this guy here. And just to show you what this can do to a piece of metal, before I put it on the labels, let's turn it on. As you can see, I'm not messing around. All right, that is scratched and etched on that metal. So without further ado, let's put that on the labels and see what it does. Now, with that being said, look at the swirl marks around all of the labels here. I'm going to get this cloth here. I'm just going to wipe this off a little bit. But look at that. Look at the marks around there. And nothing to the label yet. It's still adhered to the metal. It's still legible. All right. Let's take it to the next and final test, which is going to be our brush test. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's put it right down here to show you what this thing will do to metal. And, oh man, look at that. So we're not messing around here, folks. Let's go ahead and let's do a little scratch up here. I don't see much of a change, do you? Let's do a little scuff action here. And as you can see, I'm scratching all over around this, but nothing yet. Still stuck, still legible. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish this off with the Rub Me. And let's give it a shot here. Man, I'm telling you, those are some tough labels. So as you can see, these are very extreme conditions, and we really don't expect these on a daily basis. But again, proof's in the pudding, and I think I proved my point. So with that being said, we've got a few more of these episodes we're going to do, actually. I think the next one is going to be the water under the sea, or well, we'll call it something goofy. But, you know, it's got to do pressure washers, fish tanks, scuba gear. In later episodes, we'll do some heat tests involving the tailpipe of my truck, maybe something on my motorcycle, and microwaves, you name it. So again, I appreciate you attending. I think right now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to live, Todd, and we're going to finish this thing off.
Oh, hey. Well, what'd you think? You know, I really didn't know what was going to happen on that, specifically with the wire brush. I'm sure if I really put my force on it, something may happen. I mean, we're not a permanent solution. Those are basically phenolics, rivets, which, by the way, stay tuned for phenolics. Those are what I hear right around the corner. But again, it handled, those labels handled way beyond my expectations. I was very pleased at the outcome of it. You saw on that label that came from the store where it immediately just wiped off. And a lot of people don't know those types of labels. That is a either a thermal transfer. I believe it's a thermal transfer label. Could be a direct thermal label, but it's where it prints using heat right on the actual chemically treated paper with direct thermal. And then obviously thermal transfer uses some type of carbon filament in there, but those things fade, they scratch. You know, I don't know how many times, because I'm anal about this, I'll go through stores and I'll take a look at their labeling on their bin locations, shelf locations, and they're torn, they're worn, they peel off real easy. And believe it or not, there's some folks still out there in our industry that are using those labels for things like patch panels. And what they don't realize is that that UV coming off the fluorescent sooner or later will cause those labels to fade. They also don't stick very well. So as you saw with that steel wool, that printing on that tape came off real quick. As I mentioned in the video, we got a couple minutes left, but as I mentioned in the video, all the tapes that we have now, the TZEN201 super narrow tape is not laminated. That's a tape that I use for the high density patch panels. It's not laminated. All right. And our heat shrink obviously isn't laminated either. So everything else in between is going to be laminated. So it's going to have the same type of properties that you saw today. Some of the upcoming tests, as I mentioned in my pre-recorded video, is I'll put labels on, you know, the tailpipe of my truck. I thought about putting one on my motorcycle, but no, I can't go that far. All right. But it's a great test. And I actually had a label. I hired a guy in Minnesota back in 2013. And then I took a picture 3 years later with the same exact label on his tailpipe. And that's going through sleet and snow and salt and road grime and heat from the tailpipe. And he was kind of the first one. He just did it as a joke, but he was the first one to really open my eyes to what extreme conditions these labels can handle. So during the course of the upcoming BS with Todd's, I'm going to do a series of these types of tests on the labels. the next one, I believe, January 7th, we're going to do a little water under the sea. I haven't named it yet, but it involves liquids, fish tanks and goggles and snorkel gear and all sorts of stuff. So that's coming up. And then I'll have another one based upon heat, which I just talked about. And there, again, there's going to be a series of those going forward, but this is the first one. From my end, it seemed to turn out pretty well as far as, you know, incorporating the two. I actually prefer the live stuff because I love to hear myself talk. But I think that's the way to go, you know, just in case I drop an F-bomb or something, you know, we can always edit that stuff out. You know, I look forward to doing those. I certainly hope, it's 10:20 right now, I certainly hope that everyone has a great holiday season out there. I know myself, after today, I'm actually on PTO right now. Can you believe that? Man, what a good employee I am. But after this, after today, I am on PTO. So I want to wish everybody out there happy holidays. Be safe this New Year's Eve. All right. I don't think anybody's going anywhere. I personally, I'm not going anywhere. Here we have January 7th. Kate is sharing the screen right now. We have January 7th, Under the Sea, which is our, hello, Jeff, water resistant, tested to the max. That should be a good one. Chuck, I see you out there too. I appreciate everybody showing up and joining me for half an hour every other Thursday. I want to thank Kate. I want to thank Kelly. I want to thank everybody in the background that has made this show a great success. I mean, there's been hundreds of thousands of people that have watched this show thus far. And, you know, I want to thank you very much. It's been very educational, not only from my end on how to behave on camera and not say certain words or do certain things. So it's been very educational, but I hope that it's been educational to you as well. And we're going to continue this as long as it's popular, and it seems to be very popular and growing. We're looking into different avenues now of getting into some of the other services, taking this restream and getting into other surfaces. You can catch all the previous episodes on brothermobilesolutions.com. And when you get on the brothermobilesolutions.com, if you go to the industry tab, and you scroll down to Datacom or Electrical, it's got the Jeff Richardson. Is it Richardson? Jeff Richardson, you are now added to the invite list. Thank you very much. So anyway, if you go there and you click on the register, you don't have to immediately register, but you can view all the previous episodes, and there's some good ones in there as well. Also in that Datacom section, so brothermobilesolutions.com, go to the industry, go to Datacom. If you scroll down a little more, I have my EIA, TIA, ABC, XYZ. Anyway, I got my ANSI TIA 606C course. You got to listen to me for a little over an hour, but I run through 606C and some of the new additions. But at the end of it, you get 2 CECs and you get to print out a nice certificate. So that's available there as well. So as you can see on the screen, January 7th, please join me. We always appreciate your comments and feedbacks. If you have any suggestions for the show as well. I mean, I've got lots of ideas. Most of it legal won't approve. So if you got any ideas out there, please let me know regarding anything labeling, anything to do with the standards. Chuck, I'm still trying to get Chuck on the show here. Big shout out to my brother Sam Morse up in Fort Collins, Colorado. He was on here last week as a guest. I think it was last week, wasn't it? I forget. We'll do more guest appearances and stuff like that. Let me show you how to contact us. So as you know, I'm in Carlsbad, California. I cover everything west of the Mississippi. I'm the regional sales manager. I'm the training guy. I wear a lot of hats, obviously. Oh, by the way, see, there's the reason why you know what? I'm on PTO. All right. So anyway, if you want to contact me directly, my information is on the screen right there. You can give me a call at any time. Believe it or not, this is a working PTO. So if you do have any questions, comments, concerns, or need some bad advice, please reach out to me. You know where to get a hold of me. I got Mr. Jamie Brookover out in Virginia Beach, my counterpart out there. The next counterpart is Mr. Dan Cobb. He is in Wisconsin somewhere. It's a small state. So he's in Wisconsin somewhere. Mr. Bruce Page, I believe, is in North Carolina, South Carolina, one of the Carolinas, East Carolina, West Carolina. I don't know. Anyway, he's out there. Bruce healed quick, by the way. Mr. Rob Dawkins. He's in North Carolina as well. And then our glorious leader, Mr. Craig Robinson, hails out of Bradenton, Florida. And so with that being said, it's 10:25. We're going to actually end this a couple minutes early because I'm getting cottonmouth and I got nothing else to say. And it's PTO time and Bloody Mary time and everything else that goes with that. So again, I wish you all happy, safe holidays. Thanks for joining us. Please join us in the future. If you want to be added to the list like Jeff did, reach out and we'll make that happen as well. So with that being said, have a great weekend. Be safe, be healthy. Todd out.